Hello, welcome back to 5 Minutes with James Thomas. Thank you for joining me on this second episode. Hope you enjoyed yesterday's 5 minutes when we talked about new patient facilitation, profit-producing activities. Making sure you spend a little bit of time in your day working on bringing in new customers, new patients. Today, we're going to be talking about timing, specifically ad placement timing. This is going to be benefit to you physicians out there to make sure you know how your ads are being placed. But really, I'm about to call out the advertisers themselves. I'm putting them on point. This is the phone conversation that I want you to have with them next time you speak with them. Ad placement. As the title of the video says, stop advertising to people while they're at work or in the office. The reason I say this is because you're spending money for every time your ad is seen, viewed, clicked. Depending on how it's set up, anytime your ad is being interacted with, you're spending money. And so your goal is not just to find that interactive moment with your customer, but find that point of conversion. When will they see your ad that they will actually convert and purchase your product, schedule an appointment for your practice, be enticed to go down the path that you're trying to bring them down. So with that, let me begin and backtrack a little bit and say that there is a difference between just brand placement when you're trying to get your brand out in front of the customer, and in all different scenarios, it's not bad just to have your logo, your image out in front of them. But that's a very costly game, and at the beginning, especially for a local practice, your stronger position is going to be to convert actual customers in a particular situation. How do we do that? Well, instead of making just a generic brand ad, we're going to make advertisements that relate back to something that's happening through that practice. Maybe it's Diabetes Awareness Month. Maybe there's a sports clinic going down the street from where your practice is. Somehow those ads need to relate back to what you're trying to convert patients for. If you want to focus on sports medicine and see a lot of sports injuries, then you need to get in front of those. As I said yesterday, you need to get in front of those people who are actively participating in sports. How do we do that? First thing is know your ad placement. If you're selling a running shoe, orthotic, or any type of sports-related medical practice procedure, then you don't need to be advertising it to them while they're at work in their office. Where do people use the phone while they're in their office? They're not using their phone while they're supposed to be doing their job. So they're using their phone when nobody's looking for a split second. And so they're not in any kind of mindset to convert to your particular practice. Or they're using it while they're in the restroom or taking a break, or that's not the time. Who pulls their credit card out when they're in the restroom? Nobody does. Nobody's ready to convert. You don't want to Maslow your customers into connecting that brief moment they're in the restroom with your practice advertisement. That's not the way to do it. For example, if we go back to the runners, if you're trying to reach them, when do runners run? They run in the morning before work and right after work, or when it gets a little bit cooler. So then those are the times that you need to have your ad placements out there. From 4 to 8 in the morning, turn it off at 8, turn it back on at 5 to 6, turn it back off, turn it back on at 8 to 9 for the late night runners. This will greatly reduce your costs in advertising. You're going to get tons of clicks and placements during the day that you're paying for that aren't going to convert, that aren't going to return anything back to you. So take a brief moment and make sure your ad placements are being timed properly. If you're not the one particularly handling your ad placements, call whoever it is and ask them, what time are my ads running? I don't want them running all day long, or I need to be specific according to who I'm trying to reach. If you're already one of my ad customers, then you know I'm placing them in the proper times because I've spoken to you about when we place your ads and why we do so. That being said, within ad placement, you also need to focus on how they're coming to see your ad. If it be Facebook or Google, for example, if it be Facebook advertising, if you're trying to catch people where you want them to watch a 5-minute ad on foot health or then you're not going to catch them again at the office. They don't have 5 minutes between taking care of the other responsibilities that they're hired to do. So you need to make sure they're at their home, they're at their place of leisure or comfort where they have the moment to watch for 5 minutes. How do you do that? Well, for Facebook's example, there's settings inside of there where you can make it so the ad only shows when their mobile phone is connected to the Wi-Fi. So you know they're in a place that they have a Wi-Fi password to, more than likely inside their home. And that's a way to avoid getting your ad monotonously shown, overspending your ad dollars. Ad placement is so important on reducing your ad costs and bringing up your conversion rates. That's where I'm going to stop here today for episode number 2. I think we've actually gone over our 5 minutes just a little bit, but that is a good tip for today on 5 minutes. Instantly, if I'm not the one taking care of your advertisement, call whoever is and make sure your ad placements are timed appropriately for what you're trying to do. Thank you again. This is James Thomas. I'll talk to you tomorrow for another 5 minutes with James Thomas. You have a nice day.